Real Madrid versus Al Hilal, first game of the Club World Cup, not the season, the Club World Cup. Housen's first game for Real Madrid, Trent Alexander-Arnold's first game. But how did it go, and who did good and who did bad? Let's talk about it really quickly. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we are going to be recapping and talking a little bit about the Al Hilal game versus Real Madrid today that happened earlier. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and we're going to rate the players' performances and get into all of that. But before we do that, of course, drop a sub if you guys are not subscribed to the channel. We're trying to get to 20K, so do me that big favor, hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the noti bell so you never miss a video whenever we upload. Now let's get into the video. So Al Hilal versus Real Madrid. To be honest, I was a little bit surprised with Al Hilal's performance, man. I'm gonna talk about that really quickly and then get into Madrid. They played really good. I was just shook, to be honest. I did not expect it to be like that. They had a good performance. I mean, they have some pretty decent players. They have, of course, Bono. We'll talk about him a little later, but they have Cancelo on the right back. They have Bruno Neves on the center mid, I believe. Oh, Ruben Neves, not Bruno Neves, my bad. They have Renan Lodi as a left back, the former Atletico Madrid player, and Koulibaly in the center back. So already they have a pretty structured like mid defensive line. And then in the attack they had Malcolm, Savic, and Leonardo, and a Salem, I believe, was on the left side. Not a bad team, man. They seemed like the chemistry was there. They actually were playing better than Madrid at one point in the beginning. I was just like, I knew going into this that Al Hilal, out of the Salzburg, Pachuca, I knew that Al Hilal was the toughest opponent that there was for Madrid in the group stage. I didn't expect them to be this good. I mean, they're obviously not the craziest team, but they gave Madrid a good run for the money. But we ended up getting honestly outplayed in the beginning of the match, and then we did find a nice counter attack where pretty much I believe it was Trent Alexander-Arnold found Gonzalo Garcia, and I'll talk about Gonzalo in a little bit, but Gonzalo Garcia tracking all the way back, recovering the ball in the midfield, finding a 1-2 pass. I believe it was with Vinny, and then Vinny passed it over to Fede. Fede just ninked it and tinked it over to Rodrygo, and then ultimately Rodrygo put it in the box for Gonzalo to find the pass from the beginning all the way at the very end of the play to score. It was kind of a lucky goal, we're not gonna lie, but nevertheless he gets the ball into the net, and that is 1-0. It was all sunshine and rainbows from there. Madrid started to play a little better, and then out of nowhere, man, Asensio just, I don't know what happened, but it was a stupid penalty, to be honest. He did not have to grab the player there. I mean, quite literally, the player was going nowhere. Malcolm, I believe, was not going to do anything, or maybe it was Leonardo, but nevertheless, not a great foul by Asensio and a bad penalty to concede. And then, of course, Ruben Neves makes it to 1-1 after that penalty. So we go tied into the half. Honestly, not the best Madrid side. We lost a lot of possession. We lost a lot of balls. There wasn't good passes, good link. It was just not the best half for Madrid, and you can kind of tell, right? You can kind of tell that this team has been working with Xabi Alonso for only 4 days, and some players maybe even less than that, because they're coming from the international break. So you can kind of tell that they're trying. There was some glimpses here and there about some good plays, but ultimately, yeah, it wasn't 100% top-notch Real Madrid Xabi Alonso ball just yet. In the second half, we went into the half, and Asensio came out, Tchouaméni went into that position, and Arda Güler went into the midfield, and the game absolutely changed, guys. I mean, not just because Arda Güler helped to find that bigger and more deeper pass, but it allowed Bellingham to kind of move around a little more as well. So, I mean, we're going to talk about the player ratings right now, so just trust me, we'll get into that. But second half was way better from us. Very happy about the link plays. Good overall from most of the players. Let me get into the stats really quickly. I'm not going to rate Al Hilal's player stats because, you know, we're not really interested in that. We're interested in Real Madrid player stats. Courtois, really not much you could do there. The penalty, I mean, it's a penalty, right? You can't knock down points for a penalty. But I would say, I mean, he got a 6.3 rating. I think that's just about right. Trent Alexander-Arnold, you could tell in the beginning that he was a little nervous. He wasn't really going into the balls 100%. You can just tell, right, that when someone's not really there just yet, you can just tell. But he did improve a lot more in the second half, and that is where we saw saw some nice passing. Unfortunate that he couldn't get a good cross over to Gonzalo, because Gonzalo today, man, he was winning every single ball in the air. So I was really like hoping that Trent was gonna put a sweet ball into the box and Gonzalo was just gonna boom. It didn't happen, but I can see some glimpses here and there. Nevertheless, Trent Alexander-Arnold ended up getting a 6.9. I think it's a solid. I think it's a true rating, nearly a 7. And then we have Asensio, got a 6.4. I think that is also right around where he deserves. I mean, didn't have a great game. He didn't have a bad game. Maybe something happened with Asensio that he got taken off early, but nevertheless, I think just not one of his best games. Housen, he had a 7.4, and I think is well deserved. He had a really good game. There was a few mistakes here and there, but of course, this is the first game, new team, new players. You're gonna be a little nervous, so it's all right. Second half, he definitely cleaned it up a little bit more. And then what I loved about Housen is that he was putting in some very nice through passes straight to the players. He would pass it from the defense, like the box, the goalie's box, the goalkeeper's box, into the midfield, like the far midfield for Gonzalo. Like he was finding some deep passes, low driven in on the grass, and I loved that he was able to get us out of some certain situations. So that was very nice to see and very refreshing. It wasn't just side to side play with Housen, it was direct in between the lines. I love that. We didn't have that with Rodrygo. We did not have that. Asensio, something like it, but not really. Housen brings that to the table, and I love it. Fran Garcia looks like on FODMAP, he actually got an 8.2 rating. Interesting, because it looks like he got man of the match, even though I don't think he should have got a man of the match. I mean, he didn't have a bad game whatsoever. He didn't have an outstanding game in my eyes. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree, but I mean, he had a decent normal game. He didn't opt too much in the attack wise, but nevertheless, he got an 8.2. I think maybe like a 7.9 would have been decent. But nevertheless, let's go on to the next player, Bellingham in the midfield. Not a bad game, but you can kind of tell, man. The thing with Bellingham recently is that you can kind of tell when he's just exhausted. Like if he has ran a marathon and he has no more left in him. And there was a point in the match where he was just down on his knees, pretty much hands on his knees, just like exhausted. And it wasn't even full time yet. So I don't know if this guy just has to relax a little bit, work less. I think he's attacking too much. Maybe he's just expending too much of his energy. But not a bad game. He had some decent passes here and there. He did one very good ball to Gonzalo, who wasn't able to take advantage of it. But not a bad game from Bellingham. They gave him a 6.9, but I would give him honestly a 7.2. Not too far off anyway. Tchouaméni had a solid game. Played midfield. Played center back. Nothing you can complain about him. A very solid game. Nothing bad. Nothing incredible, crazy, but nothing bad as well. So he got a very solid 7.7. Fede Valverde, of course, we're gonna say right off the bat, he missed the penalty. What are you gonna do? People miss, people make it. It's not the end of the world. Of course, it would have given us the win, yes, but I mean, it is our captain. He started as our captain at least until Lucas Vazquez and Modric came in, but that is our captain, guys. I mean, the fact that he steps up to take the penalty says it, and we have to be behind him no matter what. Sometimes you do make them, sometimes you miss them. In Fede's case, he has made so many for us that honestly, just give him some slack. But nevertheless, I think it was just a normal game today as well from Fede, nothing insane. He had some decent balls here and there. I think they're all just trying to get into the rhythm. You do got to put into account that the weather does not help all the players. I think they all, and from the other side, also complained that it was just super hot. I understand why they do it at 2 p.m. my time. And because then Europeans they can watch the game at like 8, 9, 10 in the nighttime. But man, it is so unfortunate because over here in the USA around that time, it is blasting outside weather-wise. It is hot outside. It would be perfect if we got to see the games at 8 p.m. but then the European people would have to see them at like 4 in the morning. So that obviously is not good for television. So that's the reason why they do that. But nevertheless, decent game for Fede. 6.7 I think is deserved. Vinnie Jr, man, I could do a whole video on Vinnie Jr, but let's just say I need to see more from Vinnie Jr. I really need to see more from Vinnie Jr. The whole first half, diving, complaining about not getting falls. Very predictable, man. Very predictable. I mean, even these defenders, João Cancelo was able to predict a lot of Vinnie Jr. today. Just did not cut in as much as I wanted to to the middle. Like I feel like a winger should. A winger should have the ability to hit the wing when they need to, cut inside when they need to, take a shot from long range. I feel like Vinnie is just a one-man trade right now, man. He just takes it all the way left and just it's too predictable, man. Joao Cancelo was able to lock him up and then tag him with Ruben Neves. It was just over for Vinny. Second half, there was a little bit more, but it's ultimately because Arda Güler was in there. But if you ask me, I think out of the 3 attackers today, don't even get me started with Rodrygo, but out of the 3 attackers today, Gonzalo Garcia was the player that just shined today. And I think Vinny needs to just get his head in the game, focus on his football, and try. I mean, obviously this is the first game of, in a few weeks, so we're not gonna like absolutely just batter him, but he needs to do better, man. This is just the same Vinny that we've seen over the whole season, so we're kind of a little traumatized, right? And honestly, just as me speaking, and just as my personal opinion, I feel like Vinny is just too complacent with the fact that there's nobody to replace him. There's nobody in the bench that can take his spot. There's nobody. Brahim is not going to take his spot. Rodrygo's on the field, but he plays on the right wing, so Rodrygo's not going to take his spot. Who is going to take his spot? Nobody's going to take his spot. So I feel like Vinny is just complacent. He knows that his spot is secure. And I think that's a problem, man. We have to bring in competition for Vinny on that left wing as well, because it's, you know what I mean, we're bringing competition for the right wing. We have Rodrygo right now, we have Franco Mastantuno, we have Brahim. I mean, there's a lot of competition, but we need to see something on the left wing, because Vinny is just going from bad to just dropping little by little, man. On the other side, Rodrygo, same thing, I feel like. I mean, yes, he gave us a pass for the assist, but same thing, just not there, not offering a viable like danger on the right. Every time he got the ball, you knew he wasn't going to attack that wing. You knew he wasn't going to try to 1v1 that defender. Why? Because Rodrygo's always going to cut into the middle and just either pass it off to somebody else, or just because he can't do nothing on his right foot on the right wing. I mean, I don't know how many times I got to say it, but Rodrygo just does not do good on the right. Yes, he can play there. Yes, he can hold the ball. He can maybe take one defender, but ultimately he's not. That's not the position for him. And it's just not going to work, man. It's almost like just having one player up there just to hold the ball, pass the ball. I want a player up there who can pose some danger and give the defender something to think about. And Rodrygo just today was just absent, I think, the whole game. He didn't have a bad game, but just no danger, man. He had one decent shot with his left. I wish maybe we could see that more, just more shots with the left, at least try something different. But just need to see more from Rodrygo. I hope he doesn't start the next game. I really hope he just changes it up. Maybe Brahim, I mean, Mbappe hopefully will be next, right? And last but not least, let's talk about the man of the match, in my opinion, which is Gonzalo Garcia, man. Gonzalo Garcia, absolutely insane. Hats off to the player, because from the beginning, man, this guy, you can tell he is a Madridista. He has a Madridismo inside of him, and he fights for the balls. He tries his best, man. Every cross that Real Madrid put into the box, this guy jumped over almost every defender almost every time, and ultimately, I mean, this guy could have scored 3 goals today easily if they went in, obviously. But some good saves from Bono. But Gonzalo Garcia, I think, today takes the cookie for the match, because I think just without that presence in the box, this game would have been so stale, man. If we were just relying on Vinny, who cannot beat a defender and so predictable, and relying on Rodrygo on the right wing, who is just does nothing on the right side, it would have been a sad game today, guys. I think we got lucky that Gonzalo was on the field, and I hope that they start him again next game. Doubt it, because Mbappe is going to be there, but I hope that he starts or gets some game time, and I hope they keep him for the season, because Gonzalo has a lot of talent in him. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. I mean, this first game, I'm not going to knock, or I'm not going to judge Xabi Alonso too much, because I know it's the first game. There's a lot that goes into it. I mean, we have to prepare more and more and more. There were glimpses here and there about some good passing, so it wasn't all bad, but obviously not the best result. 1-1. We move on to the next run. I believe, if I am not mistaken, I believe we play Salzburg. I might be wrong. No, we play Pachuca on Sunday, so we'll see how that game goes. Nevertheless, drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys thought, or have any thoughts about this game in the comments. Let's have a discussion down there, man. I read every comment, and without further ado, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. A la Madrid.